Hey again, gamers. I'm Tyler Oliver, and this is my friend Joey. And welcome to the Joey and Tyler Power Hour. Super Power Hour. Either way, we're going to be talking about some gaming news today, and we hope that you're excited because I'm sleepy and he's sleepy, but we hope you're excited. Please, by all means, keep watching, tune in, whatever it is you're going to do. Also, find us on Twitter. You can find us at Take This Studios, that's the company name, at JoeHooligan89, at Wizard Soup. But to kick off gaming news, I would like to point out why gaming news has slowed down somewhat in the past several days, and that is due to the passing of Mr. Satoru Iwata. I just wanted to take a few moments to cover just a very, very minute portion of his accomplishments, and to above all say thank you and you'll be missed. Mr. Iwata got started at HAL Laboratories, I think in 1983, something along those lines, working on Kirby and things like that. Mm-hmm. And of course, HAL Laboratories is widely known for the super, invasively popular Super Smash Brothers. Yeah. And God, that has just become a titan on any Nintendo.
Phenomenon, yeah.
But of course, he had a large hand in that as well. And only, I think, 10 or so years after he started with them, he was leading HAL Laboratories. He was a leading team member there and eventually ran that company. Mm-hmm. And in 2003... he was a 20-year veteran of the industry when he took over with Nintendo. He's just the CEO there and just added tons and tons and tons of wonderful stuff. And he was with them through the dark times as well. And I mean, he completely owned that, which is respectable. But just, look back, we were talking about Pokemon. Gold and Silver was only as long as it was because of his input. That was all him. Yeah. And Gold and Silver, you would go from Johto to Kanto, and that's twice the game length of any other Pokemon game, and that way he just thought it would be a neat idea. And along those same lines, he is the single programmer who took the game logic from Red and Green and ported it over to the N64, giving us Pokemon Stadium.
Which was just...
And he did that in a week.
I was very, very...
If you taped your lifetime and my lifetime together, I wouldn't have been able to do it in that amount of time. But that's just a sad admission on my own. But above all, Mr. Iwata, thank you very, very much for everything. Very incredible impact you've had on this industry and for a decent portion of my childhood.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. You will be missed now.
But yeah, we've spoken on Nintendo, Pokemon, so along those same lines, I just wanted to bring up that Pokken tournament is scheduled to be tested here in America. And what that is going to be an arcade-style cabinet Pokemon fighting game. Fighting game. And I'm excited about that. Dave & Buster's is going to be hosting the test, so... I mean, I don't think we're going to get one here in Anniston, Alabama, but we're not in a super popular area for gaming.
We're not in a super popular area.
That's something to think about. Food for thought. Either way, that is going to be good. I'm not sure how many that we're going to get, but I do know that they're partnering with Dave & Buster's to do the initial launch test. Mm-hmm. And I'm not confident enough to say whether or not we're going to ever see a console release of this game or anything like that. But I'm hopeful that it takes off well because I will certainly save up my dollars and actually purchase an arcade cabinet for Pokken Tournament.
That sounds awesome.
Unless it's garbage.
Unless it's garbage.
And then I won't. Maybe I still will, just as a novelty.
Maybe they'll do a little bit of that live
streaming. Because I've owned some before. I had Galaga, and I had Stargate, and both of those were pretty fun. And Set in Outer Space, which is the best.
Which is amazing.
Yeah.
But maybe they'll give us a little live footage of the Dave & Buster's.
Yeah, I'm hoping testing. So. I'm at least there's going to be something on YouTube or some release footage, something along those lines that'll give us a look at what the game has to offer. And of course, there's probably going to be trailers and things like that when it gets closer to time.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's such an interesting and old format to do it on the arcade cabinets. I'm not sure if we'll get that much footage that isn't just on somebody's cell phone camera. But moving on still in the arena of Nintendo, I wanted to talk about how Nintendo and Facebook are actually partnering up this upcoming week. I think on Tuesday and Wednesday for the Super Mario Maker. That's going to be the new Wii U exclusive. Of course, it's Mario, so it's going to be Nintendo exclusive unless Sony and Microsoft make some horrible mistake. But yeah, what's going on is a lot of the Facebook employees are going to get the opportunity to create a level for the Super Mario Maker, and they can either do this as an individual or in groups, just however they want to tackle it. And at the end of this little 2-day jaunt, they're going to present this to a judges panel composed of Facebook guys and Nintendo guys, and the winner is going to get to make their level for free for the new Super Mario game.
Right on.
So I'm actually pretty anxious to say, again, like I'm looking forward to a stream of that, like on Tuesday night or something.
Absolutely.
Just to see what guys are coming up with so far.
Well, I don't know. I think that you were mentioning Mario, just Nintendo in general.
Yeah.
And I must say that most of the wonderful games, like most of the wonderful games that I can remember playing as a child, definitely were, of course, Mario.
Yeah.
I remember when the first Super Smash Brothers came out.
Oh God, yeah.
Good Lord, that game literally almost ruined my family.
Mm-hmm.
Like my brother resented me personally. Like I honestly thought he was going to have me killed.
Oh, wonderful.
Because I was just that beast with Mario. I was just that beast. I was the Mike Tyson of Nintendo with Mario.
Spectacular.
Oh my goodness.
In the original game, I was always a Captain Falcon guy.
I love Captain Falcon,
Yeah.
but I loved him just because he was so intimidating.
Yeah.
But
come on!
like, yeah, and I'm like, oh my Lord, he's Roy Jones Jr.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Something that is in the third installment, Brawl. I loved his final smash, and I love this final smash. You get it with the smash ball, and he jumps into the blue Falcon, and he's like driving like this. He's so intense, and then he just hits you, and you're launched off into space, and it's wonderful. Like, you just hit them with your car.
It's basically what
That's such a brutal smash.
It's just kind of
everybody else shoots like some huge fireball or energy beam, or Ganondorf turns into Ganon and just like rushes them. It's Giga Bowser.
Mm-hmm.
But he just hits them with his car.
Yeah, he's just like,
so I loved that a lot. And Captain Falcon has always been somebody who I can pick up and at least enjoy that game.
Oh, absolutely.
I know a lot of people have just continually mained like Star Fox and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And Eric was like the biggest Star Fox player. His Star Fox was horrifying. And you knew that you were excellent at this game if you could even hang when he was playing Star Fox. But it's a big game in my house right now. One of my roommates, Vivian, is just the hugest fighting game enthusiast ever. Like, she's excellent at basically every fighting game she picks up. And Smash, she'll just like, who are you playing? Oh, I'm playing Kirby. She'll play Kirby too and just win and make you feel bad.
I definitely need to bring Fight Night over.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
But yeah, like I said, we've been talking about it for minutes now. This game is just a titan, and
it's worth it.
That's
worth
Mr. Iwata's doing.
It really is
because he worked with, like, he was one of the two people that just really sealed the deal on the prototype for that game originally. Mm-hmm. So
I mean, really, man, it's just honestly absolutely worth every bit of hype.
Yeah,
that it has, like, and that's something that a lot of people don't understand. Like, people more want to talk about the negativity of hype, like, oh, it's overhyped or whatever.
Yeah,
they don't talk enough. Like, yeah, that game totally lived up to the hype.
Yeah, and which is a rare thing because hype generally makes me suspicious.
It annoys me to the point where I don't even want to buy the product.
Yeah,
I'm like, can you please shut up?
Probably. But right now I want to take a quick break from the news. We're coming up on like a half-hour mark, so to speak, and I just wanted to talk for a second about my associates over here at Take This Studios. And Josh, if you want to throw some of that stuff up. This is a link to their Patreon site, which is a crowdfunding thing like Kickstarter, and you can find that at support.takethisstudios.com. There you'll see a lot of what they have going on as a company. There's going to be different news bits, things like that you can pick up, and of course follow them on Twitter for things like that, which is at Take This Studios. Go figure, right? They're the same thing on YouTube, youtube.com/TakeThisStudios. We try and keep it pretty simple. We don't want anybody getting confused.
No, not at all.
But all of the funding, the generous patronage from you guys going towards the Patreon are going to keep things like this stream, all of the podcasts, game reviews, blogs, everything like that coming at you for free as often as we can get it done. And Spencer was talking the other day about how sooner or later we're just going to go off the rails with like 17 podcasts a week and just a blog every 16 minutes.
You're just going to see us just chained to the wall. Like, yeah, so
we love it here.
I haven't seen my family in 5 days.
Maybe we'll get to eat soon. And then Josh walks by and just looks mad.
And it pokes me with a cattle prod.
Absolutely. But again, this is JoJo here. This is my good friend Joey. Please find him at Twitter at JoeHooligan89. And I'm Tyler Oliver. Find me there at Wizard Soup and my YouTube.com/WizardSoupGaming. So I think that about covers my shameless promotion for this segment. What do you want to hit next? Sony or PC? What's your preference? I know you're a big PlayStation guy.
I'm a very big PlayStation guy. Sony.
All right, so here we go. I did some digging and I found out The Last of Us, that super popular zombie title that gets so many points from me, basically for having non-traditional zombies.
Yeah.
Because zombies I just did a blog on this last week. Zombies is such a faceless genre now. I have no interest in anything zombies, but that was pretty unique, and it was a story about the characters.
Yes.
Which is an important thing. But the soundtrack from that game is getting a release on vinyl.
Oh, that is awesome.
I know. It's going to be a $75 4-vinyl set that comes in just beautiful packaging. I saw a couple of clips for it. And I think that released on Thursday. So guys, just Google that. Look around. Find that if you are into vinyl at all or it's something that you're looking into collecting and you're a gamer, this would be a very logical introduction into doing that. So
absolutely.
I'm a big vinyl guy. We have a turntable here at Take This Studios. Actually, so I'm looking at getting that. It's a bit of an investment at $75. That's not just nobody money.
Yeah, that's.
So, I mean, that is some real folding money. But I think I'm gonna put in maybe a couple extra hours at work and get that for myself because I've been a good boy.
Yeah, I might grab that actually. Yeah. Little birthday, little self gifting.
Yeah, a little bit. That's important. You have to love yourself, Joey. If you don't, who will?
No one.
Yeah,
and that's the dream.
How sad.
Anyway.
Moving right along. Last Sunday, I think it was, July the 20th, marked the 25th anniversary of Metal Gear 2, Solid Snake. Fantastic game, and the very famed introduction of Gray Fox, who would go on to become the cyborg ninja that everybody seems to know and love.
And be afraid of.
Well, he just goes blender mode, basically, and that is something to be feared.
That is something to be feared.
I think. But that is when Kojima really got rolling on stuff like this, on deepening the Metal Gear story, and of course afterwards we got into the Metal Gear Solid, things like that, and Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, probably just one of the best games ever been. Yeah.
Such a good game.
Yeah, it is.
Metal Gear 4 was amazing.
Yeah.
God, that was. It was so different.
Mm-hmm.
You're really strange, but man.
It also went more specifically. It went into deepening the story of Big Boss. Mm-hmm. So, as always, he's the boss of the game. So, no doubt, an important character.
I think the boss. I mean, the original boss, who was she was just fantastic. Fantastic voiceover work.
Yeah.
She was actually my favorite character.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I loved how misunderstood she was, and how Metal Gear 3 talks about how she will die known as a traitor to her country, when in reality she did more to end the Cold War than anybody.
Yeah.
So it's I'm a huge fan of Metal Gear.
That was part of the poignancy of Metal Gear Solid 3, though. Is just the very realistic look it took at war.
Oh,
it's just a bad thing.
It's not really all that wonderful.
Yeah,
it's not all that glorious.
Unless it's a war between you and me.
Then that would be fantastic.
Get wrecked. Get on my level, shit lord.
Anyway, I own your level.
You wish. Pathetic.
Upon a star.
Are we about to break into song? What's happening? Is this a Disney movie? Is this our Disney stream?
Yes.
Oh God, we need to do a Disney streams. But back to the point. Sony, Atlas, the developer that is responsible for so many games, a lot of JRPGs, things like that, and principally in my fondest memory, the creators of Odin Sphere. Fantastic game that is getting an HD remake.
Really?
It doesn't actually have a Western release date yet, but it's going to be getting an HD remake for PlayStation 4, 3, and the Vita, so you'll be able to play it on PlayStation Vita.
Oh, that's awesome.
I know, and I'm not super hype about HD remakes.
Lately, and not all of them have been.
Yeah,
most
I mean,
of
you
them,
gotta pick your battles on that. I
but,
think.
Honestly, I'll tell you one HD remake that I thought was really good. Of course, the Metal Gear Solid remake was awesome.
Yeah.
The Silent Hill, another one of my favorite licenses, not so much. The HD remake was pretty bad. You got to think about it because and I'm just gonna go off on a tangent for just a quick second. The HD Silent Hill, what made Silent Hill so gritty and so terrifying was how obscure everything seemed. Like everything was obscured by the fog and by the the buildings and everything. But when everything is in HD, they have to compensate for that. And there was literally, I don't know if you got a chance to play it. It was the original Silent Hill HD. You actually saw where the level ended, like where the graphics ended, just a white space.
Weird.
Yeah, and I was like I remember looking
I don't
at that
like
going,
it here.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know if
I want to go home.
I don't know if I'm annoyed by that or terrified.
Somebody help me.
Somebody hold me.
But I'll go on record right now as saying that Silent Hill 2 was my favorite.
Silent Hill 2 was the best in my opinion.
I think so.
And actually, believe it or not, Homecoming for PS3 was actually
never played it.
Really good. It was actually really, really
Gotta
good.
be honest, never played it.
I was not expecting it because I just played it recently.
I may have to play that then.
It's really good. Don't play Downpour.
Okay. You said that like you had seen a prophecy or something like. Whatever you do, don't play Downpour. I've seen the future. You won't like what I saw.
I've seen the fire-consuming world. Oh God! But yeah.
Moving right along, we just touched on Sony. I want to hit a couple of the PC topics. Steam has had all the Civ games basically, and now they're just being released on Steam at release. And Civilization Beyond Earth is the most recent basic installation of the game. And it did not shine as brightly as I would have hoped. It just did not feel as complete as some of the previous Civ games because they have had all the expansions and DLC that really polish them up. And something about Civilization that I hope remains true moving forward is that each expansion tends to tweak things very, very heavily and sometimes rework basic mechanics of the game. In recent memory, we've had Brave New World.
Yeah.
And that completely reworked the culture victory.
Yeah.
Just entirely. You had tourism and everything like that. You built an Eiffel Tower, and it was everybody wanted to come see. And you had works of art and archaeological finds that you would display and things like that. So,
the botanical gardens.
Oh.
But I gotta say to comment on
Beyond Earth.
The Beyond Earth. To me, it just seemed like a reskinned Civilization.
Well, all of them are essentially, but this one again is in outer space, and that's the best setting for anything, especially chocolate.
Absolutely.
But chocolate in outer space, right? Just dream on that for a second.
I will.
Dream on that, and I'll fill these guys in. But with Beyond Earth, they're announcing a new expansion, and that's going to be Rising Tide, which does, in keeping with tradition, change a couple of key things. Specifically, I think the biggest change is that you can now settle cities on water. And there are key resources on water tiles that you can search for and exploit, as it were. But the cities themselves do not tile expand as the city grows, not like they normally would. But the city can move. Apparently, this is an incredibly slow process, but I think it's an interesting look at kind of expanding your empire beyond borders because now your borders are just everywhere. Like the water is no longer a separating thing.
No, honestly,
I'm not sure if I like the idea of some guy rolling up in a rowboat and attacking my city.
Yeah, I'm just like I kind of like the natural landscape acting as sort of a border. I like that kind of. I use it to my advantage. And
as well you should. Any good tactician would. But I have to say that this is in the future, and I like being able to settle my cities on water.
That is awesome.
I won't make a secret that I have been and will be, to some degree, a Star Wars fan. And, it seems like Camino or something like that. Which was in an iffy movie, but it was a nice setting. It looked really nice in the movie.
Yeah.
But settling the cities over water I think is a good idea. They're also introducing 2 new civilizations, one of which is actually keyed on the new mechanic on settling on water. So yeah. I think one of the leaders for that new civilization was a dock worker at one time. They didn't go into any like bios or anything like that real heavily when I was reading about this,
really?
But yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing what it does. I'm not super excited. Again, hype makes me suspicious, but
I've learned my lesson about hype.
Yeah,
I've really learned my lesson.
But also, they are reworking some of the in-game politics, some of the diplomacy in the game, so that the interactions with different civilizations as you're playing through are incredibly different now. So I think that's going to be one of the biggest reworks mechanically, besides being able to, of course, settle cities out on the water. What if it's just one of those small little water tiles, like it's just a 4-tile little lake or something, and you settle a city out there?
It almost gives me kind of like this vision of like almost like an oil rig, like just like this big steel structure jutting out of the water, with a city on top of it.
But it's got to look very futuristic. I'm hoping that they did something to the little technology web that they have going on, like that. That's not the greatest.
Not a big tech web guy over here.
No, the tech web. Perhaps we need to backpedal a little bit on that and maybe rework that. Yeah. I'm not saying more streamlined because it's not that confusing, but it's just, the formatting is weird and it takes so much work to get to different things that you want. I hate having to pick and choose. This is America.
Yeah.
Right?
I want to be fat and dumb.
Yeah. Fat and dumb. Goals for everybody. What are we doing? We're propagating problems right now.
We really are. We're laughing about the very infrastructure.
We are propagating. I see it, Josh. We're propagating problems.
I'm actually excited about this one.
Yeah, moving on. I actually have a friend of mine at this event right now. It's QuakeCon over in Texas. It's QuakeCon 2015. And that Thursday, they went ahead and just released it. They unveiled the multiplayer for the new Doom game. And he said watching it was the most excited that he had been at this convention.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm
excited to see what it's about. Like, I want footage of this gameplay. The multiplayer that he saw was a 6-minute 6-on-6 deathmatch, which I feel is super appropriate for Doom.
Absolutely. Yes.
And with that, you go in, you pick a loadout that you can save and everything like that, and you just get right into the match. And what I like is that they are really, really encouraging people to be very aggressive in this match. Like, it's supposed to feel like a very fast, almost Quake Online arena-style match.
Almost like Unreal Tournament.
Yeah, of course it's Doom, so it's going to be stupid fast.
Yeah.
But with that, I'm hopeful that it still holds up in like an online play kind of thing.
Yeah.
What I was saying is they're encouraging everything to be very, very fast and very, very aggressive, because if you play defensively, then you're going to miss out on a lot of the better weapons that are out in the map.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that they give proper incentive to go out and do things. And of course, I haven't seen anything. This is just from his description of it and then some brief reading. But I'm actually very, very excited about the Doom game in general. And
absolutely.
I want to see what kind of path it cuts through this online shooter meta that we have. It's basically dominated by Battlefield and Call of Duty, I think.
I'm so sick of that crap.
Well, it is what it is, and if you like it, by all means play it, but you won't see me on there. Now, Doom, that's a different story.
Doom?
I might play some Doom.
If you don't like Doom...
Then you're wrong.
Then you're wrong.
Then you're wrong.
You are wrong. Doom is amazing. That was my first shooter.
You play Doom right now if you don't like Doom. And you sit there and you play it until you like it.
I mean, come on, dude. Just recently, actually, on my PS3, I got the original. It was like the HD original Doom. Fantastic! It was actually really well done.
Yeah.
But yeah, Doom, in my opinion, the best shooter.
Yeah.
It's the shooter.
Cool.
Oh yeah.
Moving right on down the list. I mean, of course, I can't read the list right now.
Yeah.
Thank you, Josh.
Thanks.
Of course. Moving right down, we'd be moving into the Xbox, which is not something that I pay a lot of attention to. I've never been a big Xbox customer or anything like that, but I know that I don't know if the PlayStation 4 did, but I do know that the Xbox Minecraft is going to be getting a big DLC. That's like a whole bunch of Greek and Roman architectures. Going to be looking really, really nice. Which is weird because Minecraft doesn't really do much DLC. They normally leave it to the modding community to just
I was going to say, it's mostly just kind of a server thing. Like
yeah, but now it's actually got crafting for different structures if you want to make a big Temple of Zeus or something along those lines.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And just like I said, I think I probably said recently, I've actually recently sort of become a fan of Minecraft. It's actually kind of awesome.
And something that I've only seen light news of, I haven't done serious reading on just yet, is the Windows 10 update coming to the Xbox One. I don't know how well that's gonna go.
Well, it's just kind of like, you got to think about it. I mean, just anything to do lately in the past couple of years, anything to do with launch on PC, it's just not gone well.
No, launches have 2004 was a bad year for launching anything.
2014.
Assassin's Creed Unity. Yeah.
That game was not finished.
Well, it was finished, but it wasn't out of beta testing when they released. Because, I mean, there were just bugs every time I played this game.
That was bad. That was bad. Saith the Lord. That was really bad.
Oh, Josh is helping us out on this, actually. Windows 10 will help DVS to replace... Oh, to release on PC with Xbox... with Xbox One seamless export. Yeah.
Realize.
Yeah, realize. It's okay. I make typos all the time. Hence the creation of Gobin, the typo goblin. So it is what it's going to be.
Gobin.
Well, shut up.
I love that.
Sometimes I can't hit the B key. It's hard to find.
Goblin.
Oh, God.
I'm such a child. I can't help myself.
This is just becoming some splendid stuff.
Oh, my goodness. But yeah, you know what? The thing is, I'm not a big PC user. Like, I have a laptop, but it's like, it's kind of on the fritz right now. But yeah,
oh, I'm a huge PC gamer.
And I plan on becoming
and I'm not going to openly say that that's like superior to console gaming, because a lot of times, like, just the hardware dedication for gaming is a little bit better. But I do like having the access to like mods, things like that. And if there is a problem with a game, someone will fix it and send out that mod.
Yeah.
So I mean that is one of the advantages of gaming on PC and things like that.
Very true.
Is you have such an open community for things like that.
Mm-hmm. Everybody's really, really cool from what I've gathered on PC gaming. Most people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
God, we've been talking about the online so much, what with Doom and the Xbox One releases and things like that. Just touching on like the PlayStation Network and things like that. Rocket League is the newest thing that they're coming out with that I'm very excited about.
I think that is going to be freaking amazing.
And like it's fantastic.
Yeah, I think I don't.
And their PlayStation Network is PlayStation Plus is something that they're handling incredibly well.
Yeah, yeah. Like, I don't really know what to, like, about, like, Rocket League and stuff like that. Like, it's just, I love obscure trailers.
Yeah.
And I love, like, not really knowing, like, how...
Well, what I mean by they're handling it well is they changed it to a paid service, but now they're treating it almost like Loot Crate, like you get free little games out of it and things like that, which I really, really appreciate. But we've already talked about Sony. Let's move into some of the indie news. Yes. And this is something harder to garner news about. You really have to like slum, not slum, of course, but to search around through Kickstarter and see what's good, see what's coming out. There really isn't like a dedicated journalistic place to accrue all of this information.
Not really, no.
Yeah. But moving into indie news that we've been able to dig up, sphereFace is one of the first things that we've taken a look at, and they're on Kickstarter. Just check it out. I want to give these guys a brief shout out because they're not asking for very much. And this is essentially like a high-speed, high-impact remake of the old Asteroids game. Yeah. I don't know if you've ever played, but it was a lot of fun and very easy to get frustrated at, I think. So, of course, making it higher speed and higher impact is
awesome.
It's going to be the rage platformer of 2D space shooters.
Honestly, I can't wait actually, because I was a really big Asteroids fan, really big Space Invaders, Galaga.
Oh god! When I said, I own that arcade cabinet. Yeah. I'm the biggest Galaga fan. So I have logged more hours into Galaga than anything else, and I have spent hundreds of hours on Skyrim.
But yeah, like I see this game, dude, and I'm just like, That's gonna be an hour eater.
I want to congratulate them on a good Kickstarter campaign. Like, they set out with a low, very, very reachable goal. You know, they had great expectations. They're offering a fair product for what they're asking, and I appreciate things like that when people don't go overboard.
Absolutely.
Like, well, I need $16 million to fund emailing you Mario Composer from Mario Paint in a zip file, and I didn't get it, so you guys hate games and blah, blah, blah.
Well, from what I've gathered, if you really want to just make money really, really quick, just promise everybody that you're going to make a documentary about tropes.
God. I need to get Jordan in on that. A documentary about tropes. So that would be, what, a 6-week film?
Yeah, apparently, and I'm not going to mention any names, but apparently you can ask for like upwards of $150,000 and then make a product that didn't cost $5.
Ooh.
And then not even really deliver. So.
Exploitable.
Very exploitable.
Wow.
That sounds like a lucrative business, doesn't it?
Yeah. As far as other indie games, I've been looking into Oceanhorn, which looks like a reskin, almost, of Minecraft, but it's... Yeah. Or not Minecraft, what am I saying? Of Zelda. I've got my head in a weird place right now. All my thoughts are jumbling around. But it almost looks like a reskin of Zelda, in that you're going from island to island and you're adventuring in a very Zelda-esque way, what with throwing bombs and having a pointed hat. And I'm going to be doing a first look at that one later today, and I may even do it on like a Saturday morning Steam just to finish it up or something like that. Like, I'm interested to see, because like I did with City Skylines, everybody was like, oh, it's just basically SimCity again. Well, maybe it is, but I want to see. Like, every game deserves its fair chance.
Absolutely, absolutely.
But I'm at least going to give it a look and hopefully get that video up later. But I'm actually very interested to see what makes it different, because it certainly looks like a charming game. And from what I've heard, the story is pretty involved. So, I mean, it is what it is on that.
Sure. Why not?
Speaking of the indie scene, we happen to be very well associated with a certain Take This Studios.
Take This Studios?
Yes, indeed. Take This Studios. And right now, those guys are finishing out with their interior environment asset pack. You should definitely give that a look. They're giving it some final touches right now that will have it up at the asset store, I think by the end of next week is what I've been told.
It's perfect.
So this is their first big asset pack that they're releasing, and you should definitely give that one a look. Oh, I saw some hands. I thought Josh was signaling. I was like, no, don't talk about Take This Studio.
I was like, what do you need?
I mean, this is indie news, and this is stuff that's going on.
You're indie.
Here's indie as they get. We're sitting in here with no air conditioning.
Yeah, usually.
Yes, we're sitting in here streaming for free with no air conditioning in the summer. This is as indie as it gets.
I'm literally salty, Josh. I'm salty.
I mean, this could only be more indie if we were doing the Congo.
Yeah, it's like, seriously, if I had a mustache right now, just like a perfect little.
Yeah, if we were in the Congo wearing overcoats and fedoras, this would be the indiest thing.
This would be the indie.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's not just indie anything. We have become full indie. We have reached our ultimate final indie form.
Over 9,000. But no, yeah, I do believe one of the things. I don't know. I just and I hope you'll forgive me for going on that tangent earlier about the trope documentary nonsense. But yeah, I think that one of the things that's really, really encouraging to me, like really big time, like hardcore encouraging, is seeing the gaming community really be the most tight knit community out there.
Yeah, there's a lot of arguments, but everyone at the end of it, everyone still agrees that we love video games and things like that.
And that we're all one big fuzzy family.
Yeah, gaming is a really, really great community to be a part of, and you can always find somebody to game with. Like you
can, and it's such like a DIY punk kind of thing. Like, I mean, I know for a fact that there are phone calls I could make right now and have a couch to sleep on. Yeah, with one of my fellow like nerd bros. Yeah. So it's just kind of like gaming has really become a very important thing.
Absolutely.
Like, I mean, super important socially, technologically, of course, but
I mean, it's just what everybody has made it, actually. Mm-hmm. But wrapping up, we discussed the Kickstarter stuff for the indie, and we just talked about sphereFace, which has been a very, very successful one. But there are some failures out there, and it's mostly due to unreasonable expectations for what you're promising, and also not really giving like a good proof of concept or anything like that. Like I've seen that just absolutely destroy a Kickstarter from the ground up.
Yeah, kind of.
And there are some Kickstarters that have it a little more fair than others. Like that Konami is basically falling apart at this point, and the guy responsible for Castlevania is technically indie now because he's on Kickstarter trying to fund Bloodstained.
Yeah,
and this is absolutely the inventive mind behind all the Castlevania games, things like that, and
which I
he
love.
helped pioneer like a subgenre of gaming. It's Metroidvania, like this is this exploration style adventure 2D action game, and I can't wait to play Bloodstained actually, but it's because I already know ahead of time that it's most likely going to be freaking excellent.
Yeah,
and I have no doubt he's already met his Kickstarter goal by leagues past now.
Yeah,
and
which means it's going to
so
be
he sort of had
fantastic.
an unfair. Yeah, and he sort of, it's another thing that they don't really need more than one advertisement. It's like, hey, I invented Castlevania and now I'm doing this. Will you please fund me? Everybody's like, yes, absolutely. They start throwing their wallet at the screen, and I mean, really, because he doesn't need to do repetitive advertisement. He doesn't need like a big marketing campaign or anything like that. Everybody already knows him.
Yeah, get his name out and just watch it flow in. Yeah.
Things with Konami are not working out, but I still want to make games. This is my newest division. It's like what I've done, but better. What do you think? And I'm like, all of my yes, absolutely. If I took all of the yes and put it in a box, I would mail it to you now.
Every nickel I've ever made in my life is about to slither into your pocket. So,
but that's something that actual indies, and I know that he needs the funding personally, which technically I guess is indie, but actual indie guys just. Like Josh and everybody, like people who are trying to get started in this industry, there's a lot you have to do to make a Kickstarter campaign work. You can't just slap up a brief description of what you're doing and then ask for money. Like, you actually need marketing. You need to be on social media. You need to be spamming promotion for this thing
pretty
almost.
Much.
And you also need to get like as many different screenshots as you can. You need to get clips from the game. You need to get maybe video clips of the game creators talking about it, things like that. Like, it's very, very, very important that you be an active part of the marketing process and the advertisement. So I definitely recommend that you talk about the game a lot and talk about new things each time you do it. That number one will show your proof of concept, and it will also show progression towards the final product that you're promising. That's very, very, very important. And I think it's basically the marketing, which is why a lot of them fail. Either that or just not having a promising product and just trying to make money off some cheap effort.
That, and sadly, and I hate to sound like...
there are some people that do that. I have no names. This is not a list that I would ever generate. But,
No.
But there are some people who are like, hey, there's a bag of potato chips and I need $1,000 to eat it. Stuff like that happens on Kickstarter, and it does a lot to diminish the credibility of Kickstarter when people do things like that.
Yeah, because it's just like, and I'm not trying to sound like a prick, but really that is what it is, because the indie gaming industry has become this very big thing now. Like, it's
extremely big, and
huge.
Now it's got its shady side. Like, normally it was the people that I root for, but there are so many indie game studios that are just whiny at this point. You can't criticize them at all, or they think you're just trying to bring them down entirely as a company.
Yeah.
Like, no, that's not it at all. Like, you very much need constructive criticism. You need to put out samples of this game to play and say, what do you think? What can we do to do better? I don't know, and I'm not trying to be just completely reticent. I'm trying to keep my mouth shut on things like that because they get me in trouble. Yeah.
But I'll snap on stuff like that because people.
I have practically zero tolerance for like whiny developers.
I can't do it.
And I know that you're indie, and I know that it's hard. It's harder than I could ever do. I will never once claim that, I could make a better game than this. Like, probably not.
I probably couldn't.
I mean, it is a tremendous amount of effort, and since working with Take This Studios, I've actually seen firsthand a lot of the work, and I mean, a lot of work goes into this, like, real time, real effort, real resources that deplete rather quickly because you're indie.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things, and that's why when you're trying to get funding on stuff like this, it's the marketing that's so important, because it's all about perception. When you're selling any product, whether it's Kickstarter or not, this is just a fundamental of business. It is about the perception. You really need to work the marketing as hard as you can in as many facets as you can. Be on Twitter, throw up all kind of pictures of your game. Hey, new concept for such and such. Take a look at this, just with your concept art. Don't talk about gimmicks that you may have, things like that, but don't go overboard. Don't spoil your game. Leave something to the imagination. Allow people to be curious about it, because that's why they're going to spend the money.
Pretty much.
I mean, unless you're Super Giant Studios and have 2 huge games behind you already, and have that resume going, nobody's going to give you money just because you're making a game. Yeah. So
they want a product that's going to be different, something that's going to astound them.
Yeah.
And that, to me, I would dare say, if you're not willing to do that, if you're not willing to absolutely astound your audience, don't make games. It might not be for you.
Last Saturday we talked about our thoughts of what makes a good game.
Yeah.
Which is a tremendous concept that we only scratch the surface
Very
of.
broad strokes.
But when you're making an indie game, you don't have to make it that complicated. It doesn't have to have a super intense story.
Just make
it doesn't have to have perfect mechanics. I can forgive stuff like that. Like if you have good artistic direction, if the game just looks neat or is charming in any way, I'll forgive some gameplay stuff.
Absolutely.
Like mechanically, that's the least important thing to me, unless you just break something.
Yeah.
Or make something impossible to achieve with the mechanics. Like you just basically haven't tested it, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, it's like, jump doesn't work. Oh,
But yeah, I mean, if there's a bug or two, or the platforming is a little dodgy, or the environment is not perfect, like that stuff, I am absolutely willing to overlook and not even bring up in any sort of review or anything like that. If the game is just charming, and above all, if it's just fun, whatever you do, make a game that's fun. That's
absolutely. It shouldn't be, it shouldn't be like, cinema, the game. Like, no, it's just make a game that is enjoyable. Make a game that is charming, yes. Make a game that is intense.
There's a lot of games that are guilty about that these days.
Yeah, it's just kind of like from director Martin Scorsese. It's like, this new game. And
from the director Martin Scorsese, we bring you Minecraft.
We bring you Zelda. It's like,
dude, if Martin Scorsese directed Zelda, I might play it.
I would definitely play it.
I might play it.
I just picture Robert De Niro like, hey, don't take that, don't go. Take this. It's don't go along. Don't do that.
Well, I imagine it a little grittier, maybe not as polished like Mean Streets or something.
Yeah. Mean Streets. It's Mean Streets.
It's a good movie. But this is not a podcast about movies.
DVD right over here.
Shh.
I'm pathetic.
Stop it. You and your gangster movies. Love them. You and your crime.
I love them. I love crime.
Criminal.
You criminal. You gun owner.
Right? Yeah. Either way, guys, we are actually edging up to the end of our hour, so our superpowers will be drained until another Saturday. Well, yours will. I'm a wizard. I graduated from Hogwarts and everything. I've got a diploma.
I guess I'll just have to be patient then.
Mm-hmm. Patience is its own superpower, I think. Either way, one more time, I just wanted to touch on support.takethisstudios.com. Again, that is this company's Patreon. And once again, it is your patronage. It's any kind of donation that you can find. Just find in your heart. And it's going to keep this podcast coming at you. It's going to keep this stream coming at you. It's going to keep reviews, blogs, YouTube videos, absolutely everything that we can get coming your way. And the more funding we can get, the more reliably and the more frequently we can do these things.
Absolutely.
So absolutely, I would encourage you to take a look at their Patreon site. Please do give it a look. Again, this has been my friend Joey. You can find him on Twitter at JoeHooligan89. And I'm Tyler Oliver. You can find me on Twitter at WizardSoup or on YouTube.com/WizardSoupGaming. And until next week, we love you guys. We'll see you then.
Bye-bye.